Welcome to Modern Homestead Alaska and the Every Bit Counts Challenge. I've got to speak quick. It's super windy where I'm at and it's starting to rain. I'm down here on the Kenai River in Alaska, and for our challenge today we're harvesting wild caught fresh salmon. Won't you join us? Welcome to Modern Homestead Alaska. I am Jessica. If you have been with us for a while, thank you for showing up time and time again. If you happen to be finding our channel through this Every Bit Counts challenge, would you allow me a second? I would like to introduce us. We are a family on a small working homestead in South Central Alaska where we grow our own food. We also procure our own food, which is something we've done for this video today. We have some fresh caught salmon that we just pulled out of the river yesterday, started the process, and now we're gonna finish it today. So that's in today's video. But not only that, we hunt and we enjoy sharing the projects of building this modern homestead here. And we hope that you choose to enjoy our channel beyond this challenge. But with that, let's start. I'm trying to do a little better recording angles in the kitchen so if you see some of my subscribers that have been with us a long time, you read the comment section, they've been commenting on that. And it isn't possible though for me to use my sink and be straight on with the camera. If you are interested in how I get the salmon to this point, look back at our most recent fishing video. We processed the salmon right there on the riverside, exactly the same spot in that video as where this fish came from. So one was 2 weeks ago and in my real time and day, and then this was yesterday. The friends that flew in from Colorado, this is their dream trip, if you will. And what I do is I just shove as many salmon as I can in each gallon size bag. We bring them home. I have 14 fish and then a guy on the bank gave me all of his eggs. So not only am I gonna cure our own eggs, I'm curing someone else's eggs as well. And so what I do is I want to rinse them just in some clean, fresh water and just use this bowl for that. So they aren't slimy, but they might be a little bit sandy. They might be just straight out of the river, and that's why we're cleaning them up before we freeze them. So I do process the salmon a couple of different ways. This one, the best cleanup now that we're at home is, so these are ribs. I don't get all of them out always. They're on the side of the bank, and it's really kind of difficult to process your fish completely while you're there. Let me get a bowl for the chickens. All right, any fish scraps, sorry I have no head, are going to the chickens, but I wanted to show you this. So I'm just gonna get in here and clean this one up. Okay, so pull it apart. Then this is the belly meat, and that is good for smoking, lots of different things. And now that I have 2 fillets, it's gonna be a little easier to make them really beautiful. I wanna get these bones out, and they get to worry about these bones right here. All right, so. Because if you're canning this, you can actually leave the bones in it and they will dissolve. So I don't always know, and so I'm not gonna take that time. But there we have it. There's 1 fillet. You can leave it whole like this. You can cut it in half, and I do quite a bit that way and put 2 per bag. So I'll start with this one, doing the 2. So I have the belly meat here. I have this one. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these. So you just slide up underneath the bones. Pull that on. And so, like, this is a like a weird little fat that was attached to the spine. Let's see, very little waste now. I do just trim these, just kind of square it off. There we have it. So this one salmon is 4 fillets. I'm going to take that out. The belly. And that's just one fish. All right, from here, most of the fish are going to be put through the chamber vac. And the way that we have to do that is we pre-freeze them in the bags. So they wanted larger quantities, our friends did. So some of this is going home with them. So I'll just show you how some people want it packaged. So I'm gonna do the fillets in here. And then we pre-freeze this, and then we seal that up with the chamber bag once it's free. And then I'm gonna start a freezer bag for the bellies and just put all the bellies in one bag. Most likely this is something that's gonna be smoked or canned, and so it's okay to have all of it together. All right, I saved this last salmon. So the way that I do some of them is just like this. And I know that I just showed that, but you cut out the belly and you do the different things. This one I'm gonna clean up. I am gonna send it home with our friends. And what is amazing is when you have the opportunity someplace like Alaska where you can go and harvest something really, really beautiful like this, I think it is a fantastic thing, not just to be preserving the jams and the jellies, which those are some of my favorite, and those are daily things, but I think it is awesome when we take the opportunity to preserve something that would make like a show-stopping, fantastic family meal. And I think having this whole salmon, what I envisioned for the ones I saved, is filling this like with an herb cream cheese, folding it over, having that stuffed, and then putting the whole thing on the smoker. The skin would just kind of flake off when you were done, and you would be able to slice through and just get these absolute beautiful slices of like a cream cheese stuffed salmon. And having the whole thing like this presented on the family dinner plate, I think is just such a beautiful thing. So as you hang out at our channel and get to know, food is my dearest love. And so I'm just gonna clean this one up nicely and then put it in a freezer bag. Our freezer bags that go in our sealer, they are a little bit, they're not quite long enough. Our chamber vac isn't long enough for something this size. And this is a beautiful example of a salmon. And so I use the Food Saver because I can make any size bags or lengths of bags that I want for the Food Saver. So I'm just gonna take this gray skin nice and gently off, and then probably cut out this because that is that's the hole, the organ hole. So it's not quite as pretty, but no one wants to eat that. So the belly meat, you can leave that little bit of skin on and Then I don't, when I freeze, like I said, I don't worry about these bones, but because this is a gift, I am gonna worry about them today. Our friends just showed up, so we've gotta get going, but I make a very, this was a little bit too long. It'll be perfect. You can make any size freezer bag you want with these long rolls. All right, so slide her down. Come on. Take our time. There we go. There we have it, friends. This massive amount of salmon. To try and get them all flat, we're gonna pre-freeze them and then run them through the chamber vac. Once that's done, I'll continue this video. I'll bring you back for that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Try to net. Oh, watch this rock. Keep that pull up. It's fair. It's fair. Woo! Yeah. Woo! It's a good one. Don't you miss him. Don't miss him. Woo! And here's Aaron. We ended up with a total of 12. The people that are with us got a bunch as well. So cooler fully loaded. We're gonna head home now and process some of the salmon. I'll take you along for that.
So one guy is this.
The kid that went backwards?
Huh?
You watched it? Oh.
No, but he cuts this like this. So he cuts right here on the head, right? Just like we do. Right? Obviously. Right behind the gill plate. Okay?
Okay.
There's that on both sides. This guy with a guide. Okay, and on this side, comes down here.
We got back from fishing and we have been trying to get out here for a couple hours and it is rain, 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 rain. It's even sprinkling right now, but Aaron and I are gonna process these. We have 12 this time, 14 the last time we went. And so we're just preserving salmon. We're putting them again in bags and in the freezer. You can do anything from that point on. I do have a question. What is a way you would like to see us, or something you'd like us to see do with the salmon? How do you word that? What is something you want to see us do with a bunch of salmon? So we have smoked it and canned it. We've shown some videos on that. We mostly just freeze it and cook it pretty simply. Let us know. So everyone cleans salmon differently. Sitting on the bank yesterday, I was watching a kid. He does it all one way. Aaron processes the salmon a totally different cutting style than I have. Everyone just has their own cutting style, and we have done so many of them at this point that each one of us know what kind of works for us. So I'm gonna jump in here. Kind of the goal is, he was initially gonna clean them up and I'll put them in the bags, but rinsing them and getting them in the bags is honestly the quickest part. And so I might clean up a few with him to get a little bit backed up over here. Oh, there he goes.
Sorry, camera.
So I'm gonna help him get a little bit backed up, and then I'll be able to jump over here.
Okay, Matt, let me just,
Is a big fish.
So,
They're almost froze from the ice. Those are cold. Oh, cold fish.
okay. Alright. That guy's done so many of these.
What guy?
Guys watching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what they do for a living, right? It's this.
Right. Makes me crazy because you always look like an idiot when you're doing it on camera.
To me?
No, anyone.
Sometimes.
And these guys do hundreds and hundreds of fish.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good fish.
Two in a row what? I thought I'd answer a couple real quick. I get a bunch of questions on what we do. Hang on. We get lots of questions on saving carcasses and what we do with all the different parts of the fish. And everyone has preferences. They have their own culture, what part of the fish they use for what. And I just look at processing it as do the best you can with what you have been blessed with, and that's the fish. And we just try, we don't save anything we're not going to use. We don't give space to things in our pantry, in our stockpiles, in any of it that isn't food we're going to use. We use as much of the fish as we possibly can. We even have saved a ton of the eggs to use for other kinds of fishing, and that saves us tons and tons of money, brings another fish, those sort of things. A lot of the times we just do it right down at the river. We leave behind whatever we don't want. And then even yesterday I was just watching these little ducks were coming in. They're so cute, and they were eating the eggs that the guys were tossing out of the fish that they were cleaning. And so everything that gets thrown in the water becomes a food source for something else. So nothing truly gets wasted. And so if someone brings home salmon and they don't, you know, make fish broth, which I don't like fish broth, and so I won't make fish broth ever. I don't think on this channel. I don't like it. I don't use it. It's not something, and if there was someone that said, hey, give me the bones and I'll make broth out of it, of course I would do that for them. And so for us, this carcasses and that sort of stuff, that Aaron's dug a hole near where our eventual giant compost is going to go, and when he is finished here, he'll bury them. So the fish becomes compost, which becomes garden food, which feeds the fruits and vegetables and all the different things that we we almost lost a hopefully feeds all the different things that we grow in the garden, and so it continues giving life. I think the only time it is wasteful is if you actually leave the fillets on, or if you put it in a plastic bag and throw it in a dumpster. It's the only time you're wasting. And so just because we don't use every inch of it, I don't think that is wasteful. The other question I get all of the time, and I've tried and tried and tried not to address it because I see people do it, and I don't want to be discouraging, and I don't want to tell someone else how to do things, is we don't feed those carcasses to the chickens. The chickens get a bowl of scraps, and the reason is the one and only time I fed a carcass to the chickens, they don't eat it fast enough, and it was several like this, like a fishing trip like this. And what happened is the eagles came in and killed my absolute favorite chicken. She was blind and always stayed up by the coop, and of course you throw the carcass in right there by the entrance to the coop, and that's where she lived, and the birds of prey killed her. I realize that that's a risk that you run, but I introduced something into their environment thinking I was doing what was best for the chickens and everything involved, and in fact ended up getting one of the chickens killed. We have had tons of eagles in the yard. It's like they can smell it, you know what I mean? And they show up, and they came in looking for the pike this winter. It's a wild thing to see, but I don't want them killing the chickens, so I don't give them a whole carcass. Yeah, so what does my makeup look at the end of this? All right, so Here's what's gonna happen because filming conditions are toast. We pop all of these in the freezer. Tomorrow I'll probably take you down real quick and show you. We seal these with a sealer and then they go into the fish freezer. We have a specific freezer for that. So I'm gonna stop for now so I can put the camera up. If you can hear it, it is pouring rain. How many more we got?
Counting this one, 4.
4 more. Ah, we can do this. Anyway, tell me about. We're gonna rinse off. Aaron buried carcasses. This is what they look like now. Wash up. Throughout this series, I have been trying to take you along of kind of some of our different areas where we store food. Right here next to me is the fruit and vegetable freezer. The one that the chamber vac we're gonna be using is sitting on. This is chicken. This is everything else. And then over here is the fish freezer. At the beginning of July, this was almost empty. It is now topping out, almost completely full. But what is in here that needs to be moved someplace else? At the bottom is a bunch of bait fish that are hooligan that our son had dip netted. Up here, we freeze them and then we'll use them to catch pike and other whitefish throughout the rest of the year. It is amazing how much time and effort we have learned to put into preserving and having our own bait because it is so stinking expensive. Like $15 each trip to just buy some herring, and on some of those fishing trips we'll use 1, 2, 3 packages if you're out there for an extended period of time, or if the pike are just taking it without actually getting hooked. It all can be a whole thing. So to get it for free, minus your labor and your time and the effort that you put in it, it really will save our family a ton of money. So with this fish, we gotta find some place for it to go, and I will show you what we do. So we pre-freeze it. This is my great big freezer. In here we have the fish that we just processed last night. It's pre-frozen, but it's not frozen solid, and we are gonna pull it out. We want to try and keep it flat as possible. We jump over here to our Avid Armor is the brand. This is a chamber vac. And so we get the fish in, get that sealed down. It's already set to the time that we need it. And then we have a perfectly sealed bag of salmon. Now, I'm just gonna pop in a podcast because this is gonna take quite a long time and you don't wanna hang out with me. 45 seconds a piece times 12 fish, which is 24 packages. You can do the math. I thank you for being here with us today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you choose to stick around the channel. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button, ring the bell. You'll get lots and lots of notifications whenever we post a video or something like that. I hope you are blessed this week. I really, truly do. I hope you find a reason to just be grateful for what it is you have, what you've stored, what you've stocked, what you've done. And I hope you choose to join us. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for right now.